Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Inside Elections. Today is Friday, January 16th, 2026, and today we're going to be talking about this news out of Virginia that's putting Democrats just one step closer to redistricting the state and gerrymandering the state for the Democratic Party. Now this comes after, pretty much directly after, Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida called a special legislative session in April to redistrict and gerrymander Florida for the Republican Party. Democrats are doing the same, but in Virginia. In Florida, they're trying to gerrymander at the very least 4 seats from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party in the state of Florida. Right now, they're eyeing, I believe it's the 2 seats in Orlando, Florida's 9th and 10th, the seat in Tampa, Florida's 14th, and 1 to 2 seats in the state of not the state of in South Florida in Miami. But Democrats are trying to do the same thing in the state of Virginia. They have just the other day, I actually don't know exactly what day. I think it was yesterday. It could have been the day before, on maybe the 14th of January. Anyway, it should stay here. Okay. The point is the Virginia House Democrats, not House Congressional Democrats, but Virginia House Democrats, the House of Delegates in the state of Virginia, which is the same as a state house for any other state, in a 62-33 vote. That's because Democrats in November 2025 had an absolute blue tsunami in the state of Virginia. They gained around 20-30 seats in the Virginia State House. So I give them the numbers. So this vote to redistrict, to gerrymander Virginia for the Democratic Party passed with absolute flying colors. And now it goes up to the state Senate, and that should pass just like the House. It should pass with flying colors. It is Democratic controlled by a large margin. I actually don't know the exact margin, but it is democratically controlled by Democrats, of course. And the only reason this is possible, because for Democrats to vote on this, what they're voting on is the right to temporarily suspend the state's independent commission, which doesn't let a state redraw mid-decade, but this repeals that and allows them to redraw the maps and gerrymander maps the mid-decade, just like how Texas did. But since they don't have an independent commission, since they gerrymander the party in charge, the Republicans choose the congressional lines for state of Texas, whereas states like California and Virginia have independent commissions that redraw these maps. And to redistrict these states, they have to temporarily repeal the independent commission to redraw the lines on party lines. And the only reason this is possible is because the former governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, had accidentally left a special session open. He did not close out a special session, because for Democrats to vote on this, to redistrict before the 2026 midterms, they have to vote on it twice. One time before an election, which was before the November elections in 2025, and one time after the election. And that, since we are past the November 2025 election in the state of Virginia, Democrats voted to advance the redistricting effort in the state of Virginia, which puts some, and now, I already said this, but now it just has to go up to the state Senate, and then the governor, Abigail Spanberger, will have to sign it and put it into law, redraw the maps, and then it will be put as a proposition special election in the state of Virginia once again in April, for the Virginians to vote on if they want to gerrymander this map. Because unlike Republicans in Texas and Missouri and North Carolina and soon to be Florida, they're not asking their citizens, do you want us to gerrymander the state? They're just saying, no, we're going to gerrymander the state. You don't get a choice. What Democrats are doing, at least what Democrats are doing, is they are asking the citizens. They asked Californians and are going to ask Virginians if they want to redistrict the state. And this should pass with flying colors. Kamala Harris won the state by 260,000 votes. She won it by less than 5 points. But in November 2025, Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat, won by 16, won by a safe margin. The Attorney General, the scandal-plagued Jay Jones, Attorney General in the state of Virginia, outperformed Kamala Harris. This state was heavily affected by Donald Trump and Doge. This state is shifting to the Democrats. It's a proposition Just like in California, how it passed by 10 points more, maybe not 10 points more, I think it was 10 points actually, passed by a larger margin than Kamala Harris won the state by. Same thing should happen in Virginia. It should be no problem for Democrats in the ballot initiative to vote on redrawing these maps. It's just, can the state legislature approve and send these maps to the people, which, because Democrats have just voted on it in a 62-31 vote, they passed a constitutional amendment to give the state legislature the green light to temporarily redraw the congressional maps until the census in 2030. Then the independent commission will be back. The independent commission will redraw the maps, possibly back to the 6-5 map in that there currently is in Virginia. What Democrats are trying to do is to take the 6-5 map, which is a fair map. It is just about the most fair congressional map in the country. Virginia is one of the very few states, Colorado being like the only exception, is a 4-4 delegation. So Democrats are slightly underrepresented, but it's a mostly fair map. Virginia, it's a state Democrats win by about 5 points. They won by 15 a few months ago, yet they have a 1-seat majority, which is the most fair you can get a map with 11 congressional seats. But Democrats are trying to repeal that. They're trying to axe Virginia's 2nd, axe Virginia's 1st, axe Virginia's 5th, and possibly Virginia's 6th, netting them 4 seats in the House of Representatives, which is really 8 seats because they would also make these 2 seats safe for the Democratic Party, which is really 8 seats because it's 4 seats towards the Democrats and 4 seats away from the Republicans. However, the silver lining for Democrats is that Florida is doing the same thing. This is because of Florida is basically the entire reason why Virginia is redistricting in the first place. Florida is trying to axe Florida's 10th, Florida's 9th, Florida's 14th, and 1 to 2 seats in the Miami area, which is 4. They're trying to axe 4 or 5 seats in the state of Florida, making it a 25-3 delegation in a state where Democrats routinely get 40% of the vote. It's already a gerrymandered that, they're just trying to further gerrymander it, which is why Democrats are doing the same thing in the state of Virginia. I guess that's about enough of this analysis of this news. What are your thoughts on this news? Do you think Democrats should redraw Virginia? Do you think they should let Republicans gerrymander and get the midterms by cheating? What are your thoughts? If you have any suggestions for video ideas, just let me know in the comments. I'll make a video on it. I really will. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like it. I upload daily, so if you could subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, that would mean a lot to me. And yeah, hope you have a great day.